Protesters have blocked the I-5 highway in Seattle. Check it out. The SPD is on the megaphone telling the protesters they're going to get arrested if they don't move. I'm here live, so I'll be posting updates as the day goes on. Free Palestine. Here's another update on the Seattle I-5 protest. Cars have literally reversed direction on the freeway to get out of here. The plan is to continue holding though, even though traffic got rerouted. And the protesters have formed a marching circle. Yeah, there are no plans of this stopping anytime soon, so I'll keep posting updates. The time is 4 p.m. Here's another update on the Seattle I-5 protest. The police are approaching. As you can hear, people are very upset at them. There are still hundreds of protesters here blocking the freeway. These 5 cops here think they're doing something just by standing here. The freeway has been shut down for around 3 hours at this point. And to those of you saying that, oh, this isn't the right way to protest, your anger means the blockade is working.
Welcome to American Perfectionist, where we dissect the intricate tapestry of political landscapes with a magnifying glass of scrutiny. Subscribe, hit that like button, and let's embark on this intellectual exploration together. Let's dive into the heart of the matter of today's video. Woke protesters block Seattle highway, stopping ambulances while police do nothing. Alrighty, gather round my friends, because we've got ourselves a situation that I'd classify as a left-wing spectacular in the realm of domestic chaos. Now, these folks, for reasons unknown, maybe they've got a 25-hour day, or perhaps they've mastered the art of teleporting to protests, have been on a protest spree for a whopping 5 or 6 months. And guess what they're rallying about? You got it, the everlasting saga of Israel and Palestine. So, our circus of chaos takes us to Seattle this time. Picture this: pro-Palestine protesters deciding that shutting down a major highway is the perfect way to voice their opinions about what's happening on the other side of the world. And oh boy, they weren't kidding. This wasn't your average roadblock. We're talking about a full-blown blockade of a major freeway, complete with ambulances and emergency vehicles trapped in the gridlock. Now, imagine an ambulance with its lights flashing. Someone might be on the brink of flatlining or desperately in need of some superhero-style rescue. But did our pro-Palestinian protesters care? Nope. They boldly declared, "Our protest is more important than someone's life." They basically played the trump card of, "My cause trumps your medical emergency." But hey, why take my word for it? Let's roll the news clip, shall we? Brace yourselves for a roller coaster of wrongs and a masterclass in why these shenanigans continue to unfold. Get ready for the facepalm-inducing play-by-play of this wild incident, where common sense takes a back seat and the protest party is in full swing, highway edition.
I'm Michelle Esteban. A huge traffic disruption in Seattle today as pro-Palestinian protesters blocked the northbound lanes of I-5 in Seattle for nearly 5 hours. The group of about 100 protesters stood in the freeway between Denny and Olive and also used vehicles to block the road. KOMO's Paul Rivera was there as this all played out. Paul, take us, if you will, through the day here.
Well, Michelle, the protesters told me they want a ceasefire in Gaza, and they were ready to cause a disruption in order to achieve that goal. Well, they certainly did cause a disruption today, although some drivers who were out there today might disagree strongly with their methods. Let's take you back. This all started around 1:30 as the protesters made their way onto I-5, chanting that they want to stop to what they call genocide in Gaza. Drivers, they had to be detoured onto I-90. At one point in the afternoon, we saw an ambulance stuck in traffic. Other first responder vehicles, too, were trying to get through the area. This continued for hours as State Patrol calmly stood far away and allowed them to continue to block the interstate. A dispersal order was issued by Seattle police. It was not followed. Then a second one was issued, which was also ignored for about half an hour. Eventually, it was the weather that might have helped clear everyone out of the cold rain. It turned into hail, and there was lightning in the sky. We talked with those protesting today about why they're doing this. What do you say to people that are just everyday Seattleites trying to get somewhere that are upset you're causing this disruption?
So we hear you, and we apologize for the inconvenience. I'm sure that the goal and the target is not commuters, is not average people trying to get from A to B. So we invite those people to examine the complicity of the U.S. government that we live in the genocide that's going on in Gaza. We invite them to look at what is actually happening.
So it wasn't until close to 5 p.m. that the protesters started to walk away, but then they left a line of cars blocking the interstate. Ultimately, though, those cars were all towed away. So those protesting, they're going to have to go and get their vehicles back. Now, while it is illegal to block the interstate, Washington State Patrol told me tonight in a statement that no arrests have been made, but they did say they are still investigating. They also say they have information now on those 12 vehicles that were left behind. Michelle, they said it took so long for law enforcement to move in and to break this up because they say they didn't have enough resources and they needed to call extra troopers in. Michelle?
Alrighty, buckle up, my friend, because that news clip is like a roller coaster of chaos, and I'm here to break it down with a dash of humor and a sprinkle of sarcasm. So, picture this. You're watching the news, and it's like someone opened a can of absurdity. The commentator is all like, "So, you heard that, right? So many things wrong in that news clip that I don't even know where to start." It's like trying to find the beginning of a tape in a 90s VCR. First and foremost, let's talk about the reason behind the protest. I've said it more times than I've accidentally pressed the snooze button. How on earth do you think you'll win people over by making their lives harder? It's like trying to sell ice to Eskimos, not a great idea. And then, oh boy, we dive into the traffic jam drama. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, late for work, and suddenly there's a roadblock. You can't get to your job, and you're thinking, wow, this protest is really making me reconsider my stance on international conflicts. Blocking roads, the ultimate way to change hearts and minds. It's like trying to convince someone to become a vegetarian by stealing their burger. Not very effective. But hold on, we're not done. We're getting into the ambulance sitch. You're an ambulance driver, sirens blaring, and you're stuck in the mother of all traffic jams. You can't save lives. You can't be the hero you were born to be. And in that moment, you're not thinking about global politics. You're thinking, why on earth are these folks blocking the road? Can't they find a less inconvenient way to make their point? Maybe start a podcast or something. And then comes the genius idea. Instead of blocking roads, why not protest the real culprits? The rats. Yes, the furry little creatures that scurry around. Because clearly, they're the ones responsible for everything. Forget Democrats. Let's hold the real villains accountable. I mean, who knew rodents had such a strong political agenda? But here's the kicker, blocking roads is not just an inconvenience. It's an act of domestic terrorism. Yeah, you heard it right. It's like turning a lemonade stand dispute into a full-scale war. And the lack of consequences. It's like telling a toddler, don't touch that, and then looking away as they proceed to wreak havoc in the living room. Absolute madness. The news clip also spills the tea on the police department facing resource constraints. Defunded and short-staffed, they're practically dealing with these road-blocking protests with the enthusiasm of a kid forced to eat Brussels sprouts. And the protesters, oh, they get 2 warnings and a finger wagging. It's like dealing with unruly toddlers. Stop it, or I'll say stop again. And the grand finale. Leaving cars in the road for the authorities to clean up. It's like having a wild party at your neighbor's house and leaving them the mess to deal with. No consequences, no arrests, just a free pass to chaos. In the end, these cities are turning into crime-ridden holes because, well, we've become too soft on crime. It's like letting a toddler dictate bedtime. Chaos ensues, and no one gets a good night's sleep. So folks, let's get tough on these shenanigans and bring back some law and order before our cities become the set of the next blockbuster disaster movie. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here, perfectionists. It continues with each like, comment, and share. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's keep the dialogue alive. Until next time, this is American Perfectionist signing off, because the world is a stage, and we're all players in the grand political drama. Remember, the quest for a more perfect union never ends. Keep striving, keep questioning, and let's continue this journey towards a better America together.
Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always aim for perfection.